Okay, picture this. You're in Mumbai and you need to make a trip that usually takes what, almost 2 hours? Now imagine cutting that down to just 15 minutes. That is the incredible promise of the massive new Versova Bhayander Coastal Road. But here's the catch. This engineering marvel comes with a really serious environmental price tag. So is it a game changer for the city or is it a huge gamble? Let's break it all down. So let's start with that core promise, because it is wild. Right now, the commute between Versova and Bhayander is a grueling journey, right? It can take up to 2 whole hours. The plan is to slash that, to bring it down to just 15 or 20 minutes. This isn't just some small improvement, it's a complete transformation of daily life for thousands of people. So what is this project exactly? Well, it's the Versova Bhayander Coastal Road. And the big news, the reason we're talking about it now, is that it just cleared a major legal hurdle. It got the official green light from the Bombay High Court. And what that means is construction is about to really ramp up. Now, to really get a sense of the scale here, you have to understand this is just one phase of an even bigger project, the Mumbai Coastal Road project. This part alone is a nearly 23-kilometer high-speed corridor, and it's specifically designed to connect the city's super crowded northern suburbs. This map gives us a really good look at the route. You can see it starts down at the bottom in Versova and then snakes its way north all the way to Dahisar. And to make a huge project like this manageable, it's been broken down into 6 different construction packages. You can see them labeled A through F. And this route, well, it's going to serve some of Mumbai's absolute busiest areas. It kicks off from Versova, then goes through major hubs like Malad, Kandivali, and Borivali, before it gets to Bhayander. The key thing to remember is that this isn't just about one road, it's a strategic connector. The whole point is to take some of that immense pressure off the city's main artery, the Western Express Highway. Now, as you can imagine, a project of this size comes with an absolutely massive price tag. Just the Versova to Dahisar section is estimated to cost over 16,000 crore rupees. Then you add the link to Bhayander, and the total cost just balloons to nearly 20,000 crore rupees. I mean, that is a staggering investment in the city's future. But the cost isn't the only jaw-dropping thing about this. The project also includes an incredible feat of engineering, a pair of twin tunnels running 40 meters below the ground, and they're going to burrow directly under rivers and creeks. So what are we talking about here? These are 2 parallel tunnels, and each one is almost 4 kilometers long. What makes them so special is that they're going to be Mumbai's very first vehicle tunnels that pass directly underneath water bodies. We're talking under the Poisar River, Moth Creek, and some really important mangrove patches. And if we look inside, the specs are pretty impressive. Each tunnel is wide enough for 3 lanes of traffic, and they've got 5 emergency cross passages built in for safety. What's crucial here is how they're being built. They're using a massive tunnel boring machine, which lets them dig deep below the surface, specifically to avoid damaging that delicate mangrove ecosystem up above. And that brings us right to the heart of the conflict around this whole project. Because for all its engineering genius and its promise of speed, the coastal road comes with a significant environmental cost. And it's all centered on the city's absolutely vital mangrove forests. The numbers here are just stark. Nearly 46,000 mangrove trees are going to be impacted by this road's construction. This is the single biggest reason the project has faced such fierce opposition from environmental groups. And to put that number into perspective, we're talking about more than 8 hectares of mangrove forest being permanently affected. For a coastal city like Mumbai, these forests are a critical natural defense, right? They act as flood barriers during the monsoons and support this immense biodiversity. So this isn't just about losing individual trees, it's about losing a whole ecosystem. But there is a plan to try and mitigate some of this damage. The authorities are being required to plant over 130,000 new mangroves to compensate. So the goal is to plant more than triple the number of trees lost. But the big question is, can a new plantation ever truly replace a mature, established forest? This whole conflict between progress and the environment eventually ended up in the courtroom. And the Bombay High Court did ultimately give the project a green light. But it wasn't a blank check. The approval came with some very specific, very strict conditions. So the court's mandate really breaks down into 3 steps. First, okay, they gave permission to remove the mangroves that are in the way. But, and this is a huge but, step 2 is a compulsory order. They must plant triple the number of trees lost, plus some. And maybe most importantly, step 3. This ensures it's not a plant and forget kind of deal. The court ordered a mandatory 10-year monitoring plan with annual reports just to make sure the new force actually survived.
Which, of course, leaves us with this final central question. Is this mega road a necessary leap forward for a city that is literally suffocating in traffic, or is it a costly compromise that asks way too much from the very environment that protects it? The answer is probably going to shape Mumbai's future for decades to come.